Rise with India podcast on ET Now.
Good morning and a very warm welcome to this edition of the ET Now Rise with India podcast. I'm your host Rohit. This Monday we are gearing up to digest the renewable shopping spree by Reliance and how the street will respond to TCS numbers. Air India's deal is through and now the focus will shift on how the Tatas will assimilate 3 airlines within its group. Here are the top stories. Reliance Industries announces acquisitions of 2 renewable energy companies for nearly 9,500 crore rupees. TCS results marginally below estimates but deal wins strong and demand looks upbeat. Big week for tech earnings. Infosys, Wipro and HCL Tech will also report numbers this week. Tata Sons is setting up a short-term advisory team ahead of its takeover of Air India. And Delhi and Andhra governments send SOS over fuel supplies. Government reassures no crisis in power. Reliance Industries has announced 2 back-to-back acquisitions. $770 million buyout of Norway-based solar panel manufacturer REC Solar and a 40% stake purchase in Shapoorji Pallonji Group's Sterling and Wilson Solar as it moves to create a multi-billion-dollar clean energy portfolio. The Coal Ministry has assured that sufficient dry fuel is available to meet the demand of electricity generating plants and stressed that any fear of disruption in power supply is entirely misplaced. State-owned regional carrier Alliance Air will also be sold as part of government's asset disposal program. Alliance Air is part of Air India Asset Holding and will also be monetized to pay off debt, according to news reports in the Economic Times. Meanwhile, ahead of its takeover of Air India, Tata Sons is setting up a short-term advisory team. The Tata Sons board will meet on Tuesday to discuss the strategy for Air India, and funding plans will also most likely be discussed. Prime Minister Modi on Wednesday will launch the digital platform called PM Gati Shakti for the first ever National Infrastructure Master Plan. Through this, network of projects from roads and railways to telecom networks and gas pipelines will be laid out. The Delhi and Andhra Pradesh governments have sent urgent requests to the Prime Minister seeking intervention to ensure fuel supply to power plants to avoid massive blackouts. Delhi's Tata Power Distribution has also sent an SMS to its consumers asking them to use electricity judiciously during the afternoon peak hours as power plants reel under a massive coal shortage. Sales in luxury car market has revved up in July to September period. Mercedes-Benz, BMW and Audi have estimated to have collectively sold 8,500 units, making it the best quarterly sales in 3 years. The first test call on indigenously developed 4G technology installed in BSNL network for trial was made yesterday by Telecom Secretary to Telecom Minister Ashwini Vaishnav. The Indian job market has maintained its record-breaking run for the 3rd consecutive month in a row, clocking 57% year-on-year growth in September, according to the latest Naukri Jobs Peak report. Nifty is now only 0.6% shy of the 18,000 level. Quarterly earnings of Infosys, Wipro and HCL Tech, along with macroeconomic data and global trends will define sentiment in the holiday-shortened week. Some experts say we could see volatility in the market, especially in the IT sector. Industrial production data and inflation rate are scheduled to come on Tuesday. Markets would remain shut on Friday for Dussehra. FII's net sold shares worth about 64 crore rupees on Friday and DII's net sold shares worth about 168 crore rupees. FPIs have been net buyers to the tune of 2,000 crore rupees so far in this month. Let's talk about some of the active stocks this morning. TCS has posted a double-digit increase in profit and revenue during the second quarter with business growth across verticals and geographies. TCS also declared an interim dividend of 7 rupees per share, its second in successive quarters, and CEO Rajesh Gopinathan has been reappointed for a further 5-year term. Root Mobile has acquired a Latin American company for about $48 million. Coal India is expected to give its nod to Centre's proposal to divest 10% stake in subsidiary Centre Mine Planning and Design Institute and to list the consultancy arm soon. Macrotech developer has sold properties worth 3,000 crore rupees during April to September on better demand and looks to double its booking in the second half to reach the 9,000 crore rupee target this fiscal. Shares of ABSL AMC will debut on Dalal Street today. The issue price is 712 rupees. And that's all we have time for. Thank you for listening in. This is your host Rohit signing off. Goodbye and take care.
The Rise with India podcast on ET Now.